Share with you a very easy way to make a whole stack of cards using this fabulous 6x6 designer series paper, Christmas Tags and More, 165907. And these are just really quick and easy, but they're also, I think, fairly impressive. So I hope you will love them as much as I do. And I'm going to get started. I have pre-cut some regular card bases with thick white cardstock, cherry cobbler, and garden green. And these are the ones I'm going to use today. You can switch it up once you've done them like you would like to see them, but this is just easy and quick. So we fold our cardstock in half. So for the first one, actually for the first bunch of them, I think I'm going to try and use the papers out of this one first. So this one has 8 sheets of all of these types of papers. I may be missing some in here because I have used this a lot. And then at the back, it has some cutouts. So 2 sheets of each of these cutouts. I think I took one out, but oh, there we go. So 2 of these and 2 of these. And we're going to be using those as well to help decorate the insides and make everything look cohesive and beautiful. So my first thought when I looked at this was, oh my goodness, this is just so easy. I'm going to cut it and make cards with this as my focal point. So I'm going to start and first cut this long. I'm just eyeballing it. It should probably be exactly, but overrated. And yet I'm stumbling. There we go. Just going to cut, and then I'm not going to do this double. I am going to do it on each one. I'm going to cut each one down the center. Well, see, it's a little bit off, but when we get it together, you will probably find that you don't even need to make any adjustment or correction for that. So these just make really cute little focal points. So I think the hardest part is just cutting along the edge. Okay, I already have a lot of Christmas cards for myself for last year, but I always make new ones as well. And I like to stick to sending the new ones, but they're always my favorites. Okay, so when we start this, I'm going to start with the candy cane. And each of these designs on this one paper is 2 inches by 3 inches. That makes sense because it's 6x6 paper, and that is the easiest way to do it. So I have cut a couple of pieces of cardstock at 1/4 inch larger. So this is at 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. And I'm going to put this on here. If that little bit bothers you, you could go ahead and trim it on the trimmer a little bit, but I am just going to put this on here. And I have also done envelopes that match with these, and I have decorated my insides. I have gotten to the point where I just used to leave them very plain with a white card on the inside, and I just can't seem to do that anymore. I gotta fluff it up a little bit, and that's what I do. So let me see. I want the paper in here. This paper is the one I want, and that's the only one, but I want to show you the way I cut it. So I'm going to open up this one. The nice thing about the 6x6 paper, I always try to be thrifty with my paper. And so I cut it so that I have enough left for my envelope and the inside of the card all at once. So one piece of 6x6 paper does both things. So I'm going to cut this at 4 inches. This is going to be the front of my card here, and then this is going to be my envelope piece. I'm going to cut it at 4 inches. That way I'll have a 2-inch piece for the envelope. And then I'm going to cut this down to 5 1/4. So, leave those pieces there. This is going to go on the front of my card. Pretty. I think I'm going to use tear and tape. For sure it will run out before I'm done with the first card, but I certainly have plenty of adhesive. Adhesive is on special right now. There's a Black Friday sale on the Stampin' Up! Website, and some things have already sold out. It's limited quantities. So if you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love for you to shop with me. My name again is Jill Aronofsky. And if you place an order, I will send you a thank you in the mail. So I put dimensionals behind this just for a little extra. And I think I'm going to use my pick tool to lift off the backings. The gal that does my nails certainly appreciates that. So this is going to go on here. Oh, I probably should have stamped it before I put it together. So today I'm using an older set. I highly recommend if you have a saying set like this that has such great sayings that you keep it forever. And just to make it easy, I'm going to use these 2 sayings on all of the cards today. I think they're beautiful, and I just keep it simple during the holiday season. It can be stressful enough. I'm doing my video today because tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and we're going to be a little busy. We're hosting just a small group. Make sure that I have good coverage, and I'm going to put the Merry Christmas here. Ah, thank goodness. And then on the inside, I have some white paper. So since I'm pretty much going to do them all the same, I'm just going to go ahead and stamp a bunch of these with my inside saying so that they will be all ready to go and decorate. And you won't have to watch me pull out the ink pad 50 times. There. I make, I don't know, half a dozen cards this morning, maybe more. Probably should have counted, but those things escape me. Okay, so garden green is the color to make it easy, and I am going to take one of these, and with this paper, I always decorate my envelopes. Sometimes I do it by stamping a similar image, but I'm not using stamped images as my focus on this. It's pre-printed. So I'm just going to decorate the flap with a little bit of designer series paper. And it all coordinates so beautifully. It's not exactly. And this is a 2-inch strip, so it's slightly smaller than the envelope flap. But I just cut this off straight across. You could leave it. When you close the envelope, you really can't see that a little additional white because it's on a white envelope. And you still have plenty of adhesive left. So, no need. And there we go. So that is for here. This is going to go on the inside, and I have my little piece here. So all of this really beautifully coordinates together. And I do not put my glue on this paper and then try to pick it up. I put it on here. One little strip is all you need. The more money I save on adhesive, the more money I get to spend on stamps. So I put it down here and then get my glue dots, one in each corner. Whoops, that one didn't stick. Okay, and this goes on the inside. And because this looked all green, I'm like, oh, maybe I should just decorate it up just a little bit. And so you can pull out some, we could put this on the inside. Not really a fan that it doesn't have the, like it's got the beige color in the back. So I think instead I'm going to take this one and this bow, and then that will look kind of like the front. So I'm going to put this down, be brave. One little scoot of glue. Put that down. Another teeny weeny little squirt right there. And I'm going to put this on the top. And then that really, oh, there it is. There's a small little bit of glue. And then it really just dresses it up and make it almost like a gift. So I think that's cute. That's my envelope. And this is card number 1. So let me put this here and let's go on to card number 2. So card number 2, I also used a green, garden green base. Fold it in half. And I love the plaid that comes in this. I'm just going to take that all out because I probably will be using, see, beautiful papers in here. So I want the one with the plaid on the back. Here it is. Beautiful. And I'm going to cut this the same way at 4 inches because that's the 4 1/4 with just a border, and I love to do that. It never gets old for me. And then 5 1/4. So I have the bottom for my inside of the card and the bigger piece for the envelope. So this is going to go on here. And next, let's see. Let's use this. And I have one more of these. So that's pretty cute. And I always have these white pieces. I keep them in my little pencil holder, you know, stick them up with my pencils so that, and my scissors so that there's plenty in there. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the Merry Christmas on here and add it to the top. So just because there's no white surface here for me to put together. And when I stamp, I try to refrain from gluing anything until it's all settled and I know where everything's going to go and I'm happy with everything, because for sure I'm going to make one little goober and have to fix it. Oh, like that. That didn't come out great. And I turn it over and do it again. Much better. Okay, close my ink pad so no disaster happens. And then take my scissors, trim that off. Easy. So gonna whip these together. So pretty fun. I probably should have looked at my watch to see just how fast I was gonna be with these, but I'll figure it out later. Holidays are always so hectic. I'm gonna put a little bit. For me, when I use Seal Plus on the inside, I just start at each corner and then turn the paper so that each one is got adhesive on the corner and like halfway down the side. And that is plenty to keep it well secured and yet a little bit thrifty with the tape, which is also on sale, this tear and tape adhesive. Excuse me, not the tear and tape, the Seal Plus refills are on sale. So I bought some because I think they're the best adhesive to use for pretty much everything. I'm going to put the dimensionals on my saying and on the main part, and I'm going to decorate the inside on this one as well. Three, four, five. So I'm just going to turn it over, make sure I have enough room before I let the adhesive down. So there and down there. So this is good here. Plaid is nice to put something on because you got all those lines of reference to keep it from being crooked. And then there. So that's easy. And I've got one of my insides here. I'm going to add the plaid paper on the bottom so that they will all be decorated and coordinated. And what shall we use for this? Well, clearly, I think we should use, oh, yes. And with this, since if, you know, it would kind of be weirdly hanging, I think what I'm going to do is just use like my bone folder so I get a straight line, and my pen. This is there. So I just drew this little tiny line on the top, and I'm going to raise this with mini dimensionals just because it's a little white on white with this toe and with the top. So if I put it on dimensionals, it'll have a little shadow and be a little bit more noticeable. So there, now the stocking's hanging. That wasn't too hard. Glue dots. Can tell I'm gonna run out of these too. Whoops. Two. I have put a link in my YouTube bio so you can, if you would like to sign up for my online workshop. I'm not doing one in December, but generally you have to sign up before the 10th of the month. You get the information in my newsletter, and you sign up by the 10th, and then the actual Zoom event is on the 4th Saturday of the month. Sometimes it's a little tricky for those that live in different time zones. Sorry, I had to grab my envelopes. If you live in a different time zone, you may be doing it on a Friday evening, but it all works out. So I'm not going to do this with all of them. But this is how easy this is to get the coordinated. When someone gets this, they know right away it's special. So I'll trim that off. And this is going to be our second card with a really cute coordinating inside. So right now I'm still just using these little bits of paper. So we have 4 more left. I'm going to do this one, and let's use the, I think it's, yeah, this plaid The other side is also super cute. It looks like little snowflakes. So I think I'm going to use the cherry cobbler behind those to accent, and then we'll have both the green and the green and red holiday colors on there. So for that piece will be for our envelope. If we cut it 5 1/4, you're going to get the end piece, that piece for the inside. Was it 4? Yep, front. And then fold this. So these go very quickly. I think that last one was like 5 minutes. These are going to go together. Make sure that my fold's on the right side. Sometimes it's hard to know which side of this beautiful paper. But I'm also using this paper pack and these card designs for a class that I'm doing. I've done it the last couple of years at our American Memorial Park. It's a federal park, and we send the cards to the troops for their holidays to remind them that people think of them and we appreciate their service. So it's normally been a lot of kids, so I try to keep them super simple so that everybody feels like they're accomplished. And that's an easy class that you can do. So here I have a basic beige background, and I want to do the Merry Christmas. That one's vanilla. I'm going to get a little piece of beige. Okay, so sometimes I have little scraps. I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch. Put this back in. That way, I know it's got white in here, but with the beige here, I just think this makes this a little bit warmer. So I'm going to get my garden green and stamp Merry Christmas. And these are all pretty much the same design. The other ones shake it up a little bit, and I will show you all the ones that I've made with this so far. But there's nothing wrong with making, like, this is a good basic design. And I just think sometimes we don't need to overcomplicate things and stress ourselves out. So I'm just trimming the edges. And then dimensionals on these. And then we're going to move on to a different design. I will also, oops, that one went on a little bit crooked. And let me know what you're going to do for Thanksgiving. We, as I mentioned often, I live on a tropical island, so a lot of people here go cook their turkey on the beach, or they pick one up because there's a bakery that does turkeys on Thanksgiving, and honestly, there is a line outside there the whole day long with people waiting for their turkeys. Okay, so Merry Christmas. And the cute little tree. You could add some sparkle to this. You could add some gems. Whatever you like. So on here, I think, where is, I'm going to add this on the bottom. So we could do it this way or this way. I think I'm going to stick to this. Not to throw things off very much. And do the bottom. And then for decoration, I think I'm going to put there is a tree here. So I could do the tree on the inside, but I think I'm going to shake it up and put this big flower on the inside, the poinsettia. I think that is just going to make a much more impact than having the, tree there. So let's put this down here so there's room for a happy little message. And a glue dot in each corner, and we have already finished 3 cards. And the next one's going to be a little bit different because after doing 3 like this, I got bored. I'm like, okay, it's nice there were 6 pieces of paper to cut up, but I didn't really want them all to be the same. So this is going to be there. So the next one, here, wait, I forgot to put this one over here. Next one we're going to do, I had this, and I thought, I had done these, oh God, maybe 1 or 2 Christmases ago, and they've been kind of sitting in a little cubby on my table for a very long time, for like a shameful long time. So I thought, well, why don't I just put this here, and then I could tie a piece of ribbon. Did I bring that red ribbon over here? Goodness sakes. No, I did. Here it is. There we go. This is just ribbon from my office supply store, because red and green ribbon is red, green, white, black. I'm always thinking that is what I need the most of. So here, and then I like to keep these flat. I always have burlap or gold. Let's use the burlap. Linen thread, technically. So this is going to be a little wonky to try to do without picking it up. I'm going to do a knot first. So I'm holding that up flat like this, and then just tying the twine around it. I'm going to tie the twine in a knot. I don't think I'm going to attempt a bow, but there, that one's pretty cute, and it's a different type of, I'm just going to shorten this one in the front so you can see like both edges, and put this on here. And now we're going to decide about our base. Let's choose the color. Maybe this one, and we will do Merry Christmas in the green. So, ta-da! Oh, doing pretty good with those. And this time, I'm almost hid the ink pad for myself. This time I think I'm going to cut this here and then also separate the words, make it a little bit more playful. Let's cut this the same way, 4 and 5 1/4, making the pieces for our envelope and the little band for the inside. And let's use a cherry cobbler base so that there's some contrast on this. So, cherry cobbler base. I'm going to put this on the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. This here. This can go on here, and I have to do like straight up everything, but I think I can actually tilt this, which is kind of a miracle in itself. So when you do tilt something, you should tilt it enough so that it looks purposefully tilted, but not so much that it looks like you are like getting all wild. We won't want somebody to have to like turn their head to be able to see it. They should just be able to read whatever words and whatever without having to crank their neck. Okay, so here, like that. That's kind of cute, right? And it's a little bit more playful. Easy peasy. I probably should have tied a bow on that. I might add a little bit more to the top, but it's kind of cute, right? So 3 little ornaments. And then what do we want to do on the inside? We have this. We're going to put this on the bottom. So you can see they're all quick and easy. And if you pre-cut the pieces, you can do a class with kids or adults, and they will be so proud of themselves and send it out there. So, well, let's see. We have this for the inside. We could do another ornament. This one has this similar color. Or I think maybe the little gift. That's cute. So if we put the gift up here, down here, I think down here. Oh, the backing's still on there. That's cute. 2, 3, 4. That's it. There we go. So super easy. They all have Merry Christmas on the front and cherish to Christmas to remember and cherish. So that's great. I'm going to put this here without the envelope. I'll do the envelope later. And then with the last 2 pieces, I was kind of like, ooh, what do I do? So I'm going to do a cherry cobbler base. And then for the front, let's see. I'm going to do this saying. So I am bringing in a different saying. Have a holly jolly Christmas, because we got this holly in here. Let me grab a... I always line these up on my graph paper to make sure that they're going to be straight. I do need to clean my blocks. When they get a little bit sticky or shadowy, you can take an alcohol wipe and just wipe them clean. Just don't use the alcohol wipe on your stamps, because that's not good for the rubber. But you can use it on the acrylic block and it's just like new. Okay, so I'm going to put that there, and then I need to cut this down a little bit. And let's see. So what I was going to do is do like, this. But I think maybe it needs an embossed background for some texture. Sometimes it's good to have a mess on your desk. Oh, don't tell my husband I said that. Okay, I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. So we have a little bit more of a red border. Let's see. I think I'm going to cut another 1/4 of an inch. And then this will have used up all of the 6 squares that come on that very first sheet. So this sheet has been the inspiration for all of these cards. Quick and easy cards. There. So put that there. And then put these here. I'm going to put these without any dimension, even though I love dimensionals more than anything. Okay, this and this, and I'll put dimensionals behind here. Pick tool, 2, 3, 4. Yep, this is going super quick. And then to figure out, to give a little bit, because I don't have any accent kind of thing on here, I think the bow here just kind of makes it all better. There. So technically you could do 8 of each of these cards. Oh, well, this doesn't work now because I did it going the other way. So let me stamp another one. Guess you just never know where creativity brings you, but I love it. I've been stamping for, oh my gosh, since almost since my daughter was born, and that's 30 years. So have a holly jolly Christmas. Okay, I'm going to do this one still on the inside. The front says have a holly jolly Christmas, and then, oh, I didn't have an extra little piece of paper. So I will decorate the inside with I think I'm going to use this here with dun dun dun. Some of these are falling through and it makes it harder to see. Let me put this on first, and I want to put a little something on top. So here, and I think put a little bit of holly also there with, a dimensional, super cute. I think it's cute. I never mind telling myself that I think my creations are cute. I hope you like them. I hope you find this a valuable way to use this paper pack. There, super cute. I'm just gonna cut off that rounded edge. And this is going on the inside, glue dots. I never put anything back in the same place. That's why my glue has a designated bright pink nail polish holder, nail polish bottle holder that you can get on Amazon. I just find them really helpful, and I give them to the gals that stamp with me so that they can find their glue, and it's always at the right end of the bottle. You don't have to shake it down or anything. There, I love it. So I have a couple more, I think, nearby. Yes, that I'm going to show you. So these are the ones that you can make with just the one sheet of, gosh, how do I get these all on here? One sheet of designs, 6 designs, and we made all of these cards. So I think that that is a super good value. I also did a couple other things with these. I took one of the packets where it has the gold frames and then the gold Christmas sayings, and just used the pre-cut pieces that are in the pack and the paper. And oh look, oh my gosh, well, no wonder that was in my head. I've done it before. And then this one uses one of the ornaments in the pack. This one, pick it up. Here we go, uses this ornament and then just that leftover scrap of white paper, and we did this in the other one, and a little twine. I also did the pen just so it had something to hang from. It's easier than having to put a, and I have one more. Oh yes, this one more. This one uses this, let me show you this paper. Dun, dun, dun. Here, this paper, we used this already. So we cut off this, and then all I did was put a little twine bow at the top of each of these, and a Merry Christmas at the bottom, and same thing with the envelope. So super cute. I love putting the extra little bits in here rather than trying to figure out how to make extra cards with them. So that is 1, 2, 3, 8 cards today. What you can do with this great paper pack. So if you haven't gotten them yet, it's a great time to do so, and you can whip up these super quick and easy cards. So let me know how you like this. I enjoyed being with you. Happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you next week. Bye.